Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to respond to Stella's question about the difference between the 35mm lens and the 50mm lens and which one is a great beginner lens, a great first-time lens. So as far as the primes go, they're going to have two different purposes. And those purposes are even going to differ on what type of camera you have. Now there's really only, in this case, there's only two types of cameras that matter. One is a 3/4 sensor, and then the other one is a full frame sensor. Full frame sensors you're going to find on the professional in cameras like the Nikon D700, D4, Canon EOS 1D, and as well as the Canon 5D. So those are full frame sensors, and the sensor on the back of the camera is the same size as a 35mm piece of film. Now the 3/4 sensors that are found in prosumer cameras, and my old camera, which was the D80, is literally 3/4 the size of a 35mm piece of film. So imagine an old piece of film and knock it down to about 3/4 of that, and that's how big the sensor is. Now that affects the lens. So if you get a 50mm lens and put it onto a 3/4 sensor camera, then you're actually multiplying the lens times 1.5, and that's what it's actually going to be. So instead of 50mm, it's going to be a 75mm lens. And that changes the lens and the way the lens is used on that camera. So your 35, even though 35 is traditionally a wide angle lens, it's not really going to be a 35, it's closer to a 50. Which 50 is what our eyes see. So that's the perspective that our eyes see in. So typically what you're looking for if you are shooting people mostly, then you're going to want to go towards the 50, because the 75 on a 3/4 sensor is going to be closer to a portrait style lens. And so it's going to look really good when you're shooting people. On the other side, if you're more into landscape, you want a wider lens, you want to get more in frame. So all the landscape shots I shoot with a 35 on a full frame. And so, but the 35 on a 3/4 is closer to a 50. So you may even want to drop it down below that a little bit further to a 24 or even below that. Wide angle is very difficult to get, or at least a true wide angle is very difficult to get on a 3/4 sensor. So I hope that answers the question. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment. I can expand a little bit further on that. Otherwise, questions for other things on photography besides lenses, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, either on Facebook or YouTube. And thank you guys very much for joining me. See you soon.